Happy October. Welcome to the Inspiring You Show. This, my friends, is vibrational experience. Remembering of the truth of who we are. Content is light encoded to assist you on your journey if you wish to receive for your highest good. All right, friends, if you are new here, I'm Henry. I am an energy intuitive empath, and I share insights into how cosmic energies could be affecting human energy, as well as how other things could possibly be affecting you, with suggestions on what tools to possibly help move through and to also to support you in terms of living your life to the fullness with more ease, grace, joy, peace, harmony, and lightness for your highest good. All right. So, friends, we live in an ever changing energy field, and we all go through times in our lives when everything seems really easy. And then all of a sudden, you can't quite put your finger on why something all of a sudden feels challenging, or you are tired, or something else happens. Or sometimes when you all of a sudden are struggling and dealing with challenge after challenge after challenge, and you just don't really understand what is happening. So, this unexplainable shift can often be due to what is happening in the collective energy field, the cosmic energies that are coming in. Something may have been awakened in your own energy field or has settled in your own energy field and could possibly be profoundly affecting you. And what is this ever changing energy field? So there's your own personal energy field. There's also the collective energy field, and what also is called the cosmic energy or cosmic energy field. And so some of you may already be familiar with this. Like, every moon cycle carries a unique vibration created by the movement of all the planets within the greater universal energy field that we all exist within. This unique and specific energy effects can affect you powerfully, and also is ever changing and ever evolving. And so that's why it's really important to support yourself in understanding tools to help yourself move through, and also just how different insights can let you know what could possibly be happening, and using those mindfulness tools, also energy healing tools, meditation tools, and there are some other exercises, breath work, things like that as well. So if you are new, each month I release insights into what is possibly settling into the human energy field, so that you can understand the energy of the moment, the energy that is surrounding you and profoundly possibly affecting you at the energetic and subconscious levels. So on my podcast, and I also have on my social media and on my YouTube, and also in my Patreon, I have different things to support different energy healing sessions, meditations. There's all kinds of exercises that can support in terms of helping you move through different experiences that we may be in. So, it's really important to understand that there are powerful and easy tools for you to live. So that way it can help you in terms of living your life to the fullest, and also shining your immense light back into the cosmic field, because you are a very powerful co-creator, my friends. And it's also, as you connect into the mindfulness and widening your perspective, it's also fascinating to see how the cosmic energy shifts with each moon cycle or other things that are happening, that these are bringing changes in terms of the collective as well as the energy field, your personal energy field. So it happens when this is happening, it's happening at a powerful interface layer in terms of your aura, your energy field, that you could also consider your in terms of your connectedness. So once in terms of your energy systems, what happens is it could be creating supportive or challenging vibrations for you to work with in your daily life. And it's not right, wrong, good, or bad. There's an isness. And so it's really then allowing yourself to be in the flow of the isness, and realizing that you can have tools to work with yourself. Because sometimes the cosmic energy field feels amazing and is gentle and it feels great. Yet sometimes, friends, holy moly, it can feel really just fierce. And sometimes it can be challenging. You can feel like you're getting pummeled, which is why the more that you learn how to ride the waves as opposed to being pummeled by them, it can really change your experience here in this physical world. And again, sometimes it's really easy for your human energy field to resonate with. And sometimes, though, it's really pushing, in terms of your energy field, pushing you almost to the edge, it could feel like. So, understanding the energy of the moment, aligning with that energy that is supporting you now, and understanding what is happening in your own energy systems, learning how your energy is being affected by the energy of the moment, making sense of what is occurring around you and within you. And then also discovering beneficial tools, exercises for you to meet the energy of the moment. So that way you can allow yourself to be in that more thriving, energy in terms of every day. And also then making sure that you understand what vibrational shifting means. And if you are caught in some dense energies, it's not right, wrong, good, or bad. And sometimes, there's real wisdom when we're connected into processing sadness or grief. And so, can you allow yourself in your human experience to process the wisdom, complete the emotion of the cycle of the emotion, and then let it clear, and then bring in the light to fill in the voids, and then shift? And with the shifting, really shifting then into the energy of peace and joy, harmony, groundedness, and alignment. Okay, so friends, please make sure to like, follow, and share these insights as well as any of my podcast episodes and with your friends and family so that way they can also be supported. All right, let's start diving into the energy of the month. Friends, the energy of the month. Happy October. Are you really ready to receive the healing that you need? So, the full moon at the end of September really brought a shift from the sunny yellow vibration that we've been living in and experiencing last month into a deep and rolling energy that is really showing up as rich magenta, filled with swirling blue and purples too. So, this rolling pulsing energy brings together many of the key themes that have been present throughout 2023. It could be easy to go through this October and not engage with the powerful and potential in this month's energy. But to do so, friends, you are really missing the opportunity for healing. And you're missing the opportunity for healing and alignment that this magenta energy is offering us. So I have been sitting here for the last week or so, really watching this energy coming closer to our body systems, and my spirit guides for highest good have been really present in sharing information about it. And so I'm just going to say some key understanding in terms of the consciousness that they have been showing me, and in terms of their incredible luminous being shining light and their love, their energy, and support that they have for us for the highest good. So this is some of the messages that they have been giving in terms of some of my meditations. How much can you trust that the universe loves and supports you for your highest good? So that is one of the reflection questions. How much can you trust that the universe loves and supports you? And then also, do you know that you are held in love, even in those times you feel most lonely or most hurt? Do you know that you are held in love, even in those times you feel most lonely or most hurt? And as I say that, the highly sensitive being, the frequency feeler that I am, the empath, the intuitive empath that I am, I really feel that in my heart. And I have like just waves of that incredible feeling of love, yet also recognizing that in this human experience that there can also be a lot of sadness and grief at this time. And so anybody who's going through a difficult time, I just want to say, not only are the guides holding a space of compassion, but also I'm holding a space of compassion and sending Reiki to anybody who wishes to receive it for their highest good. And so do you know, friends, that you are held in love, even in those times you feel most lonely or most hurt? And then also, they've really gone on to say, just in terms of some of my meditations, that you do not, they talk about how you do not suffer uncared for or unattended. So if you are going through a moment where there's been a huge breakdown, where you have found yourself, in that moment on your hands and knees crying, they just want to let you know that you're not suffering uncared for or unattended, that they notice, they care, they attend, and they are bringing their love and their light, and you are surrounded by love and light. And so making sure to allow yourself to connect to your own heart, your higher self soul, and you are then allowing yourself connect into the divine light, and that they share in terms of their own light to support you in remembering, who you truly are to your own connection, and then sharing wisdom, and then also continuously sending love, because there's a recognition of how difficult it can be here sometimes in this physical world. And then also, they just share that allowing yourself to shift to a higher vibrational frequency and dimension that is being structurally put more into place in this physical world on earth, and allowing yourself to upshifting. So allowing yourself to be in flow of the greater dance of creation. So, and they also have been saying a lot about, when you feel hopeless, know that you can tap into the container of love energy available to you, and you can connect to the energy, a frequency of hope. And if you are feeling isolated, know that in terms of the spirit guides for highest good, or whatever language that you use, that there is care, and that you are cared for, you are attended, and they are with you to support you. And also, if you are feeling burdened, know that you can ask for help and support, and that they see your pain and its upcoming transformation as well. And that includes your higher self soul, sees the pain that your human might be going through, and understands the upcoming transformation. So letting yourself really connect into your higher self soul to support your human moving through it. And then knowing that you are being witnessed in terms of your experience, and that you are so, so, so loved and cared for. So letting yourself tap into that container of the energy of love and compassion. Here are some other journal questions for this month. So let yourself take time to reflect. How would your life look without the limitations of fear, of past patterns, or the legacy of trauma? So, how would your life look without the limitations of fear, of past patterns, or of the legacy of trauma? And with the legacy of trauma, it could also be present life, as well as if you connect to past lives or generational trauma. There could be something through the DNA, there could be something in terms of the ancestry. So letting yourself, take time to reflect on that, and then using energy healing tools, or whatever tools you use to support clearing. And then once you've allowed that energy to be cleared, remember that anytime anything's cleared, there's a void. So letting light fill in the spaces, that's really important in terms of energy work. Another reflection question is, how might your day be different today if you choose to live your life as if everything was happening for your highest good? So how might your day be different if today you choose to live your life as if everything was happening for the highest good? And another reflection question for this month: are you able to actively embrace the energy this month is bringing for the highest good? So, are you able to actively embrace the energy this month that is happening for the highest good? So, let's get deeper into the energies of the month. This month encourages you to step into the active co creation of your life, connecting with the entirety of your energy field, of your whole body system in all of its potential and power. This is because this October's magenta energy offers a rich and gentle meeting point between the healing energy of the past, the present, and the future. Your ancestral energy field is hardwired through every part of your physicality, from deep within your DNA, as well as through your subtle energy systems. It is always present and as tangible as the shape of your eyes, the color of your hair, the shape of your face, the tone of your skin, or any other of the ways that your body represents in terms of your lineages, your maternal, paternal lineages, your parents, other family members. And we also live in a culture that is now mostly removed from the conscious, simple acts of honoring our ancestors. And in doing so, honoring the cycle of the birth, life, death, birth cycle. And so this month, it's really about connecting into your ancestry as well and your DNA and seeing if anything needs to be cleared. If you do Reiki and dowsing energy healing, I really recommend utilizing this information to help you and support that. Especially if you do dowsing, I would those of you who are in my dowsing lab, I would utilize some of the protocols that we've gone through to see if anything is coming up generationally in connection to ancestry, in connection to the DNA. And because of this, we have lost the easy and everyday skills of really sometimes honoring our own ancestral energy field to also ensure that it is healed and also life affirming as it can be, for it can show up in huge strengths in times of your day or life, and also with big challenges or in terms of supporting yourself in other ways. So, friends, knowing how to nurture your ancestral energy field so that you can bring more and more harmony, healing, and balance to it is one of the biggest ways you can affect how you live and how you experience your life, friends. And again, if you do energy healing work, specifically dowsing energy healing work, you can douse on this to see and what's happening if there's any kind of imbalance in connection to your ancestral energy field. And also seeing about, in terms of your ancestors, is if there's any of them that had traumas from the past, that the traumas from the past are affecting the DNA, and if it's now ready for the trauma to be cleared and allowing the healing to come in, so that way the lineages can allow the light to come in. All right. So let's just talk about some of the themes coming in for this month. One is being fierce in a beneficial way, in a very light, infinite positive energy way. Also, soul path alignment. There's cosmic support for your success, honoring your ancestors, healing the past. And so there's also let's break that down further. There's also trust and power lessons, really trusting yourself and the inner and outer lessons around trust. And with that comes then, are there any lessons that are presenting to support you in terms of your awareness, your consciousness, and also in understanding your empowerment and your personal power of connection to light? Also, with this, is there any kind of repair work and being called in terms of trust and your true empowerment? Also with this is that we're clearing some judgment and punishment energies may be coming into focus to be cleared. And sometimes with that can feel really challenging, but just know that it's not right, wrong, good, or bad. There's an isness. Can you allow yourself to be the witness, the observer, to see what's coming up, and then to allow yourself to use the tools to process, to complete the cycle, and then allow the clearing to happen, to let the light come in so you can shift, and not get caught up in any kind of these storylines that could be happening. Really utilizing mindfulness to support you in terms of the mental body, not getting caught up to let the story take you away, but just becoming the observer, using mindfulness tools, using energy healing then tools to clear any non-beneficial storylines, support clearing the non-beneficial energies, any kind of non-beneficial emotions that are stagnant or stuck or stacked up, and then also helping to clear the physical body, the subtle body, the energy bodies, all the bodies. So really using your tools this month. Another theme for this month is the increasing discomfort of duality. We are having a huge shift, people. And it's really more and more people are awakening. There's even greater birth of multidimensionality in terms of holding multiple truths and perspectives at the same time. More and more people are waking up. More and more people are shifting and holding more steady into 5D, into 6D. And so it's really exciting. That doesn't mean, though, if you are in 5D, 6D or higher, that, you you could also have a moment where you drop back down to 3D, 2D, even 1D, because it's just all about learning how to, work with the energies coming in and understanding where you are in the experience. And if you do shift down, just recognizing like, what is the wisdom here? What am I supposed to understand and realize? What is the self-realization? And then when you have that, allow yourself to clear it, to shift then to the higher vibrational frequency, to a higher dimension. And just know that's kind of like an elevator. And we just haven't fully stabilized. And Mother Earth is going through a lot of changes as well. Okay, so we're also having transformational grief, and we are continuing in terms of the rebirth, and really with that, then holding space for yourself and others. There have been a lot in terms of lot leaving the planet this year. And so remembering though the beneficial aspect of emotions and with the human experience, allowing the human to move through the process of grief, bringing in compassion, but just also the wisdom of grief. Grief can be a real transformer. And also grief can bring in terms of a rebirth, of a new layer, of a new level of who you are here to be. And just know that, with the human, though, you want to bring in that compassion as you're moving through it. Another theme for this month is, what are we allowed in terms of vibrationally? What are we allowed to feel, be, and experience, personal and collective? And are you also allowing yourself to be in it? Another theme this month is, it goes with the multidimensional aspect that I was talking about, that there's just some messy multidimensional integration. So just using energy healing tools to support yourself in terms of syncing up the multidimensional parts of you, your mind, your body, your spirit, that aren't quite yet in synergy with each other. If in doubt, make sure to explore with compassion, but also with awareness, and just be mindful as you kind of explore and observe before you just jump in and act, because you just want to start to understand what it means to be, what multidimensional integration means, and you want to start to understand the different energies before you just kind of jump in. Also, another theme for this month is jumping into the new, and just recognizing that there could be sudden and quick energies of either you jumping into a new aspect or timeline, or others around you making those moves. And so it's just, letting yourself really just understand what's happening, and using again that kind of caution and awareness, and making sure you're grounded and aligned. You've shifted from your head to your heart. So that way you're not just jumping in ungrounded, unaligned. You have a sense of clarity, and maybe you are in that 0 point field of understanding and that higher consciousness. But if you're just jumping ungrounded, unaligned, and you're caught up in the mental body, the head, the monkey mind, then it might feel really frenetic. Or you could feel like you're just kind of getting pummeled around by by some of these quick energies or these different timelines. So just kind of be mindful with it and use your mindfulness tools and awareness. There's also new paradigm relationships ongoing. And so remember that there's often a birth, and, in terms of if you will, a newborn child learning to walk energy around relationship shifts, upgrades, and changes. So just be aware of this, friends. Okay, so I'm just going to talk about then one overall theme. And as the month goes on, as the week goes on, I'm going to share more just to kind of break it down for people. So an overall theme for October is be fierce. So just to clarify, being fierce does not mean using it as an excuse to be mean. It is not an excuse to be mean-spirited, not nice, judgmental, or rejecting of others. Being fierce this month means being fierce with yourself and resetting the habits of, if you will, the human, the habits of complaining, of whining about your life, into real inspiring action for beneficial improvement, evolution, and real change. So there is still an element of letting go of the non-beneficial energies, the, if you will, the dead weight, as well as the opportunity to be open to receiving something new in its place. So in energy work, we call this, clearing dense energies, clearing non-beneficial energies, frequencies, vibrations, or if you will, clearing non-beneficial patterns and programs that are caught in the subconscious or in terms of the human experience, or there could even be stagnant emotions like sadness or frustration that have layered on into a pattern and programming that have become really stuck. And so then in the energy work, you can ask to clear these kind of patterns of, frustration or sadness, and allowing then the light to fill in the voids. Because whenever you do clearing work, you always then want to fill the voids. You want to fill, because there's space. So then you want to fill the space with light to call in the new for the highest good. If you do Reiki or dosing energy healing work, you probably know what I'm talking about. But that essentially is just the basis of energy work. And we are all energy. So, okay, but this will not happen though, friends, unless you get your human up and moving. So if the human is stuck, so if my human is stuck and I'm having a moment of like, I don't want to, I got the I don't want to's, but I know it's actually in my heart and in my soul, it's really beneficial. So if my human is stuck, then I call in a proverbial, like what I call forklift, to support uplifting my human to get into the flow of inspiring energy of action that is being presented. So if my human is stuck, then I call in and I imagine, sense, visualize, or knowingness of a forklift that comes in to support uplifting my human to get into the flow of the inspiring energy of action that is being presented. And usually that image actually makes me laugh, which then going into laughter, I'm in joy. And so then I'm able to shift. That being said though, friends, there is a time for rest and respite, but then there's also a time for inspired action. So y'all, it is time to get off the fence and actually do something to improve your life. The energies coming in are here to support us doing that. So if you have been in a cocoon, which last month, there was cocoon energy. But if you've been in a cocoon, now it's time to break out and butterfly. So if you've been in a cocoon, now it's the time to break out and butterfly. So enough prep time, enough waiting, enough talk, enough planning, enough complaining, enough sighing about how your life hasn't turned out how you want it to be. Y'all, I know what you're talking about. Been there, done that on that front. It is time to tune in to your empowered creator that you are. So enough prep time, friends. It is time. The shift is here. You've been in the cocoon, and now it's time to break out and butterfly. You deserve better. And it's time to take advantage of that very strong and incredible, powerful energies we have this month, especially with the 2 eclipses coming in. You, my friends, have the opportunity to set yourself in a new storyline, on a new track, by changing the story and letting yourself heal and letting go of any attachment to the past. Let go of anything of the past and let yourself heal, including all disappointments, successes, identities, traumas, resentments, in any way you've held yourself or others hostage to unresolved issues. It's time to heal and let yourself move forward. And also, friends, let go of resistance, ambivalence, and judgment. And I know that I can say that, and it can be really challenging when you're really caught in that real resistance. because resistance with judgment, it feels like cement energy. I am an intuitive empath. And let me tell you, when I feel that kind of cement energy in myself or others, I have so much compassion because it feels terrible to be caught in it. So that's why if you are caught in any kind of resistance layered in with judgment and you're kind of in that negative kind of complaining, y'all, that's where I say you got to bring in the forklift. You got to forklift the human out of it. And you got to quadruple down on using tools. So if you're caught in that kind of mindset, that means then your meditation practice has to be much longer than you think. And if you are caught in it, I would recommend doing energy healing with Kundalini yoga and meditation and layering as many modalities as you can so you can mind shift out of that cement, resistance, ambivalence, judgment energy and shift yourself into that light, peace, clarity, and that flow feeling. And just remember, all of this, it's not right, wrong, good or bad. It's all like with resistance, ambivalence, and judgment, there's wisdom there. But if you're not letting yourself learn the wisdom of it, if you're not letting yourself actually shift from it, you're staying stuck in it. And if you're staying stuck in it, then it's going to present as like suffering to the human. And the human is going to be just caught in the suffering again and again. And it will feel like every day is the same because you're just caught in the whiplash of like a Groundhog's Day. If you've seen that movie Groundhog's Day with Bill Murray, where every day he gets up and he's like, it's like the same day and he's caught in it. So that's why you want tools to support yourself. So with all of this though, friends, like the road ahead may not come into clear view yet. And that's where you also have to work with your human on being okay with the not fully knowing. But that doesn't mean you don't have the understanding of the knowingness. And when you and with knowingness, it's not about knowing specific details. It's just in your heart, you have this wisdom of knowingness, this clarity of knowingness. But that doesn't mean the road ahead is completely clear in terms of you understanding what's what. So that's why working with your human on staying present and aware, grounded and aligned, shifted from the head to the heart in the energy of peace and joy and letting yourself be able to receive for the highest good in terms of the information, the clarity, the knowingness of you're going to understand which step to take. So the road ahead may not yet come into clear view yet, but the road behind you, friends, the road behind you, y'all, you want it to be clear. The road behind you, you want it to be clear of the debris, of the non-beneficial energies, frequencies, vibrations, patterns, non-beneficial patterns, programs, limitations, limited beliefs, emotions that have been stagnant, that have been wanting to be completed, storylines that have been complete, but yet haven't been allowed to, chapters that have ended, but yet somehow are still open. So the road ahead may not yet come into clear view, but the road behind you, friends, should be very clear of the debris, the non-beneficial energies, the storylines that are ready for completion, especially regarding what you do not wish to recreate. So there's that Groundhog's Day again. If you feel like you are in a Groundhog's Day and you are constantly recreating, that means there's clearing work to be done. That means this is where The energy of the month, one of the overall themes is fierceness. This fierceness is personal. And you got to be fierce in a beneficial way with love and kindness and compassion and peace to empower yourself to no longer be getting caught in the recreation of something. You can do it. You are an empowered creator. You are an empowered creator. You can do it. So, friends, here is some reflection. What have you been procrastinating on? What have you been getting glimpses in your heart to do or inspired action on and create, but yet you've put it on the back burner? What have you been procrastinating on? What is your creative self been nudging you on, but you keep turning away from? So what have you been procrastinating on? And this reflects on all areas of your life in terms of your creativity, your career, your health habits, your physical relationship with yourself in terms of your physical self-care, your discipline, your relationships with self and others, family, friends, loved ones, coworkers, your personal environment. Also, any kind of situations, if there's unsatisfactory situations, if you've just been unhappy in a situation time and time and time and time and time and time again, and you keep getting your hopes up, and then you go into the situation and it's presenting as the same and it's flatlining you, then what is the information there? What is the wisdom there? This is where the fierceness comes in with the human. The rubber meets the road. That if there's something you're not happy about this month, it's inspired action. What are you going to do about it? And by that, you're still using loving kindness, compassion, tools of mindfulness, energy healing, groundedness and alignment, being in the heart. Also, with procrastinating, it could mean, your personal environment. Have you been meaning to clean out that garage, but yet you haven't been getting to it? Also, any clutter, physical clutter. It could also be in terms of emotional or mental clutter, negative thoughts. So has there just been a ton of negative thoughts and you've been procrastinating on dealing with them? And so your mind is swirling in these negative thoughts and you can't seem to sleep at night because your monkey mind is just taking these negative thoughts and just creating bigger and bigger storylines. And you're waking up then from a night of not much sleep. Well, you can either continue living that way or, y'all, the energy of this month is inspired action. But with it, it comes in terms of this fierceness of it is big time to take responsibility and raising your ability to support yourself in a way that is for your highest good and in a whole nother level. So it's a big time of taking responsibility and raising your ability to have and receive something better. With that, though, in our human experience, it can just be really complicated and challenging because there can just be so many things that you may have experienced. Your own human may have experienced trauma that is unhealed, unresolved. You could also be connected to your ancestry, where in the ancestry, it could be 12th generation, something happened and there was a trauma that got handed down through the DNA. And so then in your experience, you're all of a sudden feeling, you know, some uncle, some aunt, some grandparents trauma, and it's taking over your system. And so you may not even understand why, but it just doesn't feel good. And that's why becoming more aware and taking responsibility can really help you in all kinds of ways. And with it, this month can certainly trigger irritation, impatience, and also frustration, resentment as you face what is no longer tolerable. And what you want to do then, if you do Reiki and dowsing energy healing, and if you're noticing any kind of irritation, impatience, resentment coming up, and also you want to work with your mindfulness tools, becoming mindful, using the labeling, and then using Reiki and dowsing energy healing to clear when you have come into the wisdom of the lesson and downloaded the information and ready to complete the cycle. And also in using mindfulness, bringing in that loving kindness and compassion and making sure to triple down, quadruple down on using compassion meditations for self and others as we move through this experience. Because you want to really let go of getting caught in judgment of self and others and getting caught, you want to stay out of blame. And I know it can be really, it can be easy for us to want to sink into that experience because we might feel frustrated, irritated, impatient, but really letting yourself shift and stay out of blame and be proactive with changing one small thing at a time. It doesn't have to be everything at once, just one small thing at a time. And with that, with the grief that I was talking about earlier, also recognizing that it may be challenging or painful, or you might have grief to let go of some things. And so making sure to honor the process of grief and bringing in then, the tools to support yourself and giving more care and compassion. Because sometimes, even though you understand that the energy is complete on something, it doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that you're not going to have any sadness or, sorrow about it. You might be excited for the next chapter. You might be grateful for the experience, but there also might be some grief that something's coming to an end in that physical experience that you had. And it could be with a career, it could be a relationship, a friendship, it could be also if you're moving. And so letting yourself honor the experiences and using the tools of kindness and compassion, processing the emotions, using mindfulness energy healing, but also not letting yourself get caught up in paralyzation of fear or the grief to the point where it's paralyzing you from actually being able to be an empowered creator to shift into the next experience. And that's what following the energy means. And I know I've gone through many changes in my life, and sometimes I really want to hold on to the comfort of what I've been in the creation of. But yet there's a point where the energy changes, and I've definitely held on sometimes too long. And it's not very comfortable then for the human. So I've learned to allow myself to use the tools to support in terms of letting go with more ease and moving into the next flow. And so that it helps my human, and it just feels better. And then I honor any kind of grief or sadness to complete the emotions and then letting light fill in. So with that, friends, you want to then stay out of blame as much as you can. And if you get caught in it, it's not right, wrong, good, or bad. Just use the mindfulness tools. Once you recognize where you are, use the tools to support yourself shifting, use energy healing, meditation, and then be proactive with changing one small thing at a time. And it may be painful to let go of some things, but if your intuition points to needing that release, to letting go of something, if your higher self soul is indicating that it's time to let go of something, that it is about releasing something, focus on the space it will create for something new to be created. So if your intuition points to needing that release, focus on the space it will create for something new to be created. This month is also a highly creative time, and a good connection with the earth is crucial. So friends, get out there in nature. This month is a highly creative time, and a good connection with the earth is crucial. Without grounding, it is easy to spin out and lose yourself in drama, confusion, feeling scattered, getting caught in frenetic energy. And this is where you also have to be fierce. Be fierce about your daily practices and disciplines, and you will then be rewarded with good results. Also, eclipses, there's going to be 2 eclipses this month. Eclipses always bring about change. And when there is change, something has to be released. So, as a collective, we are moving to a higher vibration. And that in and of itself can be discombobulating. So, working with the earth and staying grounded will help during these times where it can be a bit of uncertainty and chaos. So, groundedness, alignment, shifting from the head to the heart, grounding yourself, aligning. And also through this whole experience, friends, watch for any kind of, non-beneficial aspects of just, in terms of impatience going into aggression, that stemming from fear or anxiety in yourself or others. And if there is anything that comes up, just make sure to ask, like, what is it that yourself needs? Because there might be your inner child is letting you know that it feels scared, and or that some sort of trauma point was just triggered. And so ask what you need to be supported, and what could help in terms of comfort, and then what could also help in terms of letting go of that type of energy to allow the light to come in. The energy can be turbulent at times this month, and it is necessary to trust that all is as it should be, and all that and that all is evolving in the most beneficial, highest good way and in the right direction. So as always, really following your intuition and your intelligence of your high heart when making decisions and choices. And understand that this is an incredibly inspiring month that can be a truly transformative month if you allow yourself to be in groundedness, shifting from the head to the heart, staying in that groundedness alignment, using discipline, balance, harmony, and being fierce in a beneficial way for your highest good. I will be at some point putting up a practice on my podcast to support staying grounded and empowering in terms of healing alignment. And I do suggest that you do this practice at least once a week as you move through October to align your energy and support you in terms of your connection with yourself, and also the deeply supportive energy around you and your connection to earth. And it's also an incredible way to activate your own self-healer, your own healing and radiance, your light radiance, so that you're more connected to your core of wisdom, joy, harmony, courage, love for the highest good. All right, I'm going to now further break down how the month may be showing up and just give some dates as well. Okay, for you personally, So fierceness here means making a complete inventory of your habits, relationships, attachments, patterns, practices, stories, discontents, irritations, grievances. In any way you are living your life that does not make you happy or satisfied. Okay, friends, this could be very discouraging, however, but just know that you want to ground yourself before you do this, bringing in a lot of compassion and love, and you're doing this to support yourself. So this could be very discouraging. However, if you can be proactive in the inspiring energy and using that energy of fierceness in the most light, beneficial way with the sorting practice, you will actually feel energized by what you're able to release and inspired by the space you create for something new. So, friends, be prepared also for change. So, be prepared for change as yourself and others will also be in their own process of being in the energy of fierce in this positive, light way. And some of this may affect you. And that's why you got to use your practices and tools. Your practices and tools are crucial this month, especially working with the earth to stay grounded. Anything you can do to keep strongly connected with your heart and your allies will also help. So, this is a powerful month for raising your self empowerment, your self confidence, your self esteem, and ability to have more. And so, you can also use affirmations to support you or mantras. If you are in my Meditate with Me Patreon, we'll be doing some in terms of the Kundalini mantras to help. And one of the mantras is I allow myself to receive abundance with joy and harmony for my highest good. I allow myself to receive abundance, prosperity, and financial flow with ease and grace for my highest good. Just really letting yourself be open to receiving for your highest good and also being in balance and harmony of giving and receiving. So I allow myself to give and receive in balance and in harmony and enjoy in abundance for the highest good, especially if you have an imbalance with if you're giving too much or receiving too much. You want to bring that into a balance because it's really important. So, friends, sort out your inventory by what feels burdensome and what feels inspiring to you. And use the beneficial portal of the eclipses to make changes that feel most beneficial for you. So, in sorting your inventory, just seeing what brings you joy, what brings you joy, what feels inspiring. And if something feels heavy, then letting yourself be complete with the process. So that is your personal. All right. For relationships, friends, be willing to let yourself be in completion with relationships that are the energy has been completed with. And I know that might mean then there might be disappointment because sometimes if you've had an experience where you really love, being with people, or you've loved the experience, you don't want it to end, but yet you feel the energy has been completed. That's where you have to then use the energy of being fierce. Be willing to disappoint then. And I mean, this is the beneficial aspect of disappoint so be willing to disappoint others around choices and decisions that are fierce in a light, positive way that are really serving you the best for the highest good. Because something is being called into you, but it can't be called in sometimes until you complete something. And so with this, then be willing to be brave, be willing to be courageous, be willing to be an explorer and understand and discover like, wow, something's coming in. And also sometimes when things are ending, it doesn't mean that they're ending like that is it. It just means that maybe two people have to go on their paths for a while and they're going to end up meeting again somewhere else because there's just different experiences that are being called for. Because again, it's not right, wrong, good or bad. There's the isness. With this, though, you want to practice healthy boundaries and also, friends, set strong intentions. Set strong intentions when dealing with both existing relationships and new ones that may be coming into your life. And not just about relationships, friends, set intentions. And if you are in my Meditate with Me Patreon, we do that 2-hour workshop at the end of the month, friends. And I always ask, and I remind you, please send me your intentions so I can print them and Reiki them and put them in my Reiki box for the next month and send daily Reiki. Y'all, I've only received intentions from a few people from that last workshop. And it is October 2nd. And we did that. I think we did that intention. It was over a week ago. I think it was like a week ago that we did it. And I've only received intentions from from 3 people out of, there are, I think that intention workshop, I think 87 people bought it. 87 people bought it. And only 3 people, I think it was 3. Wait. Yeah, only 3 out of 87 have sent me intentions to Reiki. Y'all, be fierce with what you want to create. Be fierce. So set your intentions. And if you are in my Meditate with Me Patreon and you did that workshop that was over a week ago, send me those intentions that you did so I can print and Reiki. All right. So friends, with this, follow your intuition of your heart, of your higher self soul, without getting trapped in mental and emotional confusion. Follow the intuition of your heart, your higher self soul, without getting trapped in mental and emotional confusion. Our human can just get so attached on the past. And it just then doesn't allow you for what you're moving into. So let yourself be complete with the past and follow the energy. And again, it doesn't mean that, maybe you're not letting go of a relationship, but maybe in you letting go of how things were in the past, things are able to shift for you, which then can allow something to shift in the relationship. But you're not going to know it until you excavate that part that is getting caught in the past, and then allowing that in that excavation to clear that dense energy. And once you clear that dense energy, you allow the light to fill in, and then you allow that part to reintegrate into the wholeness of the truth of who you are. And that's the light of the truth of who you are, and not into, getting caught in that past. So anyway, follow the intuition of your heart, your higher self soul, without getting trapped in the emotional and mental confusion. Also, this month can be bringing up some relationship breakthroughs as you raise your sense of self-worth and create new beneficial boundaries and rules around what you are willing and what you really want in your life as an empowered co-creator. Relationships worth working on can improve dramatically through good communication, as well as some needed truth-telling and setting of healthy boundaries. I always recommend the workshops and books by Oren J. Sofer. He does mindfulness communication and nonviolent communication. And one of his books is Say What You Mean and I recommend that book because it can really support you in understanding communication with self and others. So with this, then, with communication, you want to just watch out from getting caught in blaming others for your dissatisfaction, for your unhappiness. Instead, be proactive and do something about it. This is especially challenging, I know, for family dynamics and feelings of responsibility where there are expectations to either possibly fit in or somebody's in a lot of pain and you feel like you maybe have to help or be a fixer. Use your intuition about what is most beneficial, what is actually right, and comes from a place of loving kindness and compassion from the heart, and see if it's actually something you are truly meant to from the heart. Because sometimes in our human experience, we go through things and it's not about someone else. It's about us understanding what's within us and that we have the capability and capacity. So use your intuition, friends. Use that inner guidance. Also, the energy of fierce nature of this month may also be challenging in terms of not only self, but relationships. So if they are already on their way out, my friends, and I mean this in the most loving kindness, compassionate way, find a clean and efficient way to complete them with the energy of love, kindness, compassion, care, nurturing for self and others. Find a clean and efficient way to complete them and then move on. And always make your choices to change about yourself and not about them. Okay, so that was relationships. The next one is health and physical body. Okay, so being fierce about letting go, eliminating bad habits that do not serve your overall humaning, that do not serve your physical, mental, or emotional well being. Y'all, it may be a tough discipline, but if not now, when? And I say that because I also understand this. I am in the process right now of completely changing my relationship with food. And I am in my early 50s. I am currently in perimenopause. My hormones have significantly changed. I'm in, as my mother calls it, the change of life. And with that, there are just foods that are no longer responding how they used to. I had, and some of them are like, I love tomatoes and cucumbers. And I know I've heard for years the nightshades, blah, 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 but it didn't really affect me when, you know, my body was in a certain experience. But now that things are changing, I'm just been getting more inflammation in just various parts of my body, specifically my hands. And because I do so much energy healing work and mindfulness work, I'm able to really, hasn't really, I notice it and I send Reiki to it and I do dowsing on it. And then the swelling of the inflammation will go down. But I don't really, because when you're living more in the multidimensional way, you're able to harness and utilize peace energy and awareness and presence, even if you're recognizing something is happening in your physical body in a different way than previously. That being said, though, and I also have been using Western and Eastern medicine. I have gone and gotten all the tests, blah, 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 blah. But and I've been doing research for a while now. And I finally have come to a point where I found I've read probably 5 gut health books. I've also read probably 6 or 7 different books on menopause and some other books on health as listen to a ton of podcasts and things like that and talks. But I finally found something that I felt resonated with me, and it's called Plant Paradox. Some of you may have heard of it. And it's with Dr. Gundry. And I don't know, just the way he presented the work And from everything else I've been reading, I decided to do it. And it's been a couple weeks since I've been doing it. And I've completely had to change my relationship with food, change my habits. And I'm somebody who, when I worked in television, and when you work in TV and you're on the road or you're on sets, you tend to have like, sometimes you could have like 3 meals at work. You go in and to the crafty table and you could have breakfast. And then later on, they're going to deliver you lunch. And then later on, you might have a dinner meal. And you often get, it's a lot of times you're on the road, so it's restaurants. And so I've kind of cultivated the habit of this to go lifestyle where everything was to go, in to go containers. I would get a menu, food would be delivered to me in a to go container. So everything was on the go. And so I had this habit of, just eating out had been easier for me because I was so used to it for like over 20 years. Like that was kind of like my way of mostly living. And so in the last, like, I don't know, 10 years or so, I've really had to work on learning how to utilize my kitchen as an adult. And because I was traveling so much, I wasn't home to use my kitchen. So anyway, I'm now doing this plant paradox, and it's really challenging because yesterday I did not want to cook. And so I went on to, I went onto the apps to see, oh, okay, what can I order? And as I was looking at all these menus, I couldn't find anything to order. And so I had a moment. I was like, oh, I just won't do it today. What's one day? And meanwhile, the swelling in my hands have gone down tremendously from doing the plant paradox. And if you're listening to the podcast that I'm recording, you won't be able to see it, but if you're watching, I'm showing my hands. My left hand was all swollen on my pinky, and that has gone down, and I can completely move my hand now. And then on this hand, this side, my right hand, my pinky was swollen, and now I can move it and it's not swollen. The only finger that's really swollen still is the ring finger on my right hand, but even that has gone down tremendously. I did do a video a couple weeks ago showing it, and so you'd be able to see it. So the swelling and the inflammation in my hands have gone down tremendously from doing this plant paradox from Dr. Gundry's work. And so yesterday I had a moment in my relationship with my own health and my physical body. And I had to really be fierce with myself about eliminating a bad habit that is not serving my physical body. And it's ultimately then not serving my mental and emotional well-being, because being in pain with inflammation, it just is awful. And so I had to be really tough in my discipline to not order out. And it was I had a really hard moment yesterday where I just kept going back to DoorDash and Postmates. Maybe there's some restaurant out there that has this lectin free and plant paradox phase that I'm in that I can eat, and there weren't. And so I had to be really fierce with myself yesterday. And it took a lot of discipline because it is challenging. Being fierce here, it takes a lot of discipline, as we are a culture that is used to regular gratification, especially through comfort of substances and habits. And then at the same time, this is an area of common complaining and dissatisfaction. So yesterday, I had to call myself out on this and be fierce with myself. Like, Henry, are you going to want to wake up tomorrow with inflammation in your hands? and then complain and feel dissatisfied with how you feel. No, I don't want that for myself. You could easily DoorDash or Postmates a meal for this ease of regular gratification that comes with this comfort of somebody else making the meal and delivering it to you, that then supports this comfort of substances and habits. Or you can be fierce with yourself right now and say no and get yourself off the couch and go into the kitchen and make a meal. It was hard. I was on that fence for a good 45 minutes. And then I finally got myself off the couch and went into the kitchen and made myself a meal. So I have a lot of compassion for anybody else who's going through this, who are breaking up with habits that are no longer serving you, but yet you still love. You have a love for, and it's brought you a lot of joy and comfort. I have a lot of compassion for you because I'm in it right now, friends. I am in it. And tomorrow I'm going out with some friends I'm really excited about it. We're going out to the theater. I'm so excited about this. I can't wait. Beforehand, we're going to a restaurant and I've looked over the menu. I see what I can get. And this is also a first for me, where I've actually looked at the menu beforehand to see what I can get. So it's a whole new way of living. But I'm tired of complaining about, like, okay, wait, I don't want to feel this way. Well, then I have the power to change it. You are in the driver's seat on this one, and it is up to you to be a bit fierce in this area of your life about health and physical body. So here are some beneficial practices of working with sources of energy and support, such as you can connect with the earth to support you, the sun, the elements. You can use mindfulness meditation, Kundalini yoga meditation, Reiki and dowsing energy healing. Yesterday, I did a lot of mindfulness. I had to reset the mind, and I had to use Reiki to support myself. I brought in the forklift to help me get off the couch and go to the kitchen. Also, pay attention to how nature supports you and can change your relationship with your health, and how also plants can nourish you, how water cleanses and replenishes you, how also, in terms, if you do Holy Fire Reiki, how the fire can transform the old, but also igniting your creative source, and how also air moves energy with your breath, that life force energy, friends. So you want to be fierce, friends, the energy of fierce, and that light, positive energy about eliminating bad habits that are no longer serving your physical, mental, or emotional well-being. And yes, it may be a tough discipline, but if not now, when, friends? And I am on that journey with you, as I mentioned, because I am in the midst of doing the plant paradox. I am in, those of you who know it, I am in phase 2 of the plant paradox. And yeah. So, all right. And this should be really connected also to strong intentions for higher abilities to allow yourself to receive, higher ability for your deservability, and to allow yourself to receive. You are worth it. You are worthy. This includes making choices to also stay in your own lane. Let yourself let go of any environments that are no longer serving, or if there's toxic environments, letting yourself let go of it. And, if there are some environments or people that are really caught in negativity. I know sometimes people will say like toxic people. I don't generally view things as that. I just view it as people are in a lot of pain and hurt and sadness and trauma. But that doesn't mean that, if you're an experience where it is time for you to make a different choice, a different environment, and calling in different friends and being completed with the experiences, then that is how it is. And it's not right, wrong, good or bad. It's the isness. It's just anytime you're leaving an environment or people, making sure that you are doing it in a way that is of nurturing, loving kindness, care, mindfulness, compassionate. So that way, then you're really complete with the experience and you're not bringing, in terms of any kind of hurt or anger or sadness, into another experience or leaving things unresolved and not repaired. And so also, if you've taken on someone else's challenges or issues, the consequence may be that, for you to understand that, you might just need a good clearing, a good energy clearing of non-beneficial energies, non-beneficial links to support yourself, because there might be an imbalance with codependency energies, things like that. You can see I have more meditations on my podcast. And if you are listening, I'm doing live on TikTok right now as well. If you are listening on TikTok, if you want to go to my podcast, there is a link in my bio as well. All right. So moving along, the next one is business partnerships and projects. Okay, friends, this is a really good month for reflecting, refining, being fierce about what needs restructuring, what to let go of, what to eliminate, what to bring in that is new. There is really great, good energy and inspiration for new ideas that can help give a facelift to existing projects, as well as then call in new projects as well. So reach out in terms of collaboration to others, perhaps even new relationships and connections to give new life to possible stagnant situations. And around the eclipses, it is not a good time to take a big risk without having really good clarity. That is where your intentions come in, friends. So if you are in a state of healing grief, you're not fully grounded, it is then in its eclipse time, it won't be a good time to take a big risk. So around eclipses, it's not a good time to take a big risk without having really good clarity and groundedness and alignment. The intention you want is for improvement and change, but allow some time to process whatever inspiration or opportunity happens around that time, because then that keeps you open for the highest good for the universe to support you. Sometimes our humaning, we can get really caught in like what we think. And meanwhile, the universe is like, hello, I'm here and I have support. Are you allowing me to support you? So let the universe support you for the highest good. You want to let yourself receive, you want to set the intentions and being that empowered co-creator with the universe. All right. Later in the month, it will be better for taking actual inspiring steps in the area of business and partnerships. Use the time to plan, organize, and also just test the waters before completely committing, especially to something requiring a big financial outlay. Time and your intuition will tell what the universe is ready to support. Because also remember, there's divine timing, there's divine design here. And so even though your human might be like, I'm ready, it may not be real divine timing yet. And there might be something in the works that are even better than what you even understand. So be patient, friends. All right, the next one, environment. We continue to be surprised by unexpected situations and events around climate and weather specifically. We say this every month. However, it is still highly recommended to be as flexible as possible with schedules, plans, and expectations, especially around travel. And I say this now in October, but knowing that we're going to be going into November, December, the holidays. So that goes for those months those months as well. Mother Nature can be fierce, and there is nothing you can do about it, accept it, and adapt. You're not greater than Mother Earth. We're all here to work in collaboration and support with one another. So Mother Nature can be fierce, and there's nothing you can do about it except accept it and adapt. Be willing to let yourself accept it and adapt. And that comes in then not getting caught in the complaining. Can you relax into the moment? Maybe there's if you are stuck at the airport for some reason, maybe there's a greater something going on that's going to allow you, who knows? Who knows if you're waiting at the airport, somebody might sit next to you, and that might be your next like business partner. You just never know how divine design is operating. So let yourself be in flow and be flexible, be patient. And that being said, though, with Mother Nature, it's also letting yourself tune into your intuition. About here in Los Angeles, we had a tropical storm like a month or so ago. And during the tropical storm, I was inside, and all of a sudden my nervous system started revving up, and I got some anxiety, and I was like, whoa, what's happening? I haven't felt this way in a long time. So then I just asked, why was my nervous system revving up? What is the anxiety about? What is the information here? What is the intuition here? And then all of a sudden I heard earthquake. And so then I was like, oh, okay. And as soon as I recognized and I got the information, the anxiety dissipated, was complete from the process. My nervous system was no longer revved up. I was completely then, I got grounded. I was able to use, mindfulness and Reiki to get grounded and aligned. And I was in the energy of calmness. And then 5 minutes later, we got a update that from LA County saying that an earthquake was incoming. And then the earthquake came. And before the earthquake came, I completely grounded and aligned and prepared myself for what I knew I understood I needed, not out of the energy of fear, but out of the energy of love and awareness. And okay, Mother Nature is doing something. Something is needing to happen in connection to Mother Earth. And so, Mother Earth is shaking out some dense energies. It's not right, wrong, good or bad. It's the isness. And we are here in collaboration. We are here in the graciousness of Mother Earth to host us in this physical being of hers. So instead of trying to fight it or getting upset with it, let yourself accept it and adapt and use the tools to support yourself. So you're in more harmony as opposed to fighting against something and then getting caught of being mad at it. So Mother Nature can be fierce, and there's nothing we can do about it except accept it and adapt and use the tools, friends, and use your intuition to tune in to let yourself know, what is happening. And since we have the theme of being fierce, this applies directly to your personal environment and continuing to eliminate anything that feels like it's no longer beneficial, anything that feels heavy or burdensome, anything that feels like it's just done. Let yourself clear it. And if you don't love it, let yourself let go of it. Get rid of it. If you have excess, curb your habit of acquiring more and use what you have, friends. Find security in your ability to be adaptable and resourceful instead of relying on a cluttered environment as your security. So find security in your ability to be adaptable and resourceful instead of relying on a cluttered environment as your security. This doesn't mean you have to become a minimalist. It's just being more proactive about being in more harmony of you and your space. And it's also just being in more balance in terms of being a consumer instead of over consuming. It's like, it's really letting yourself practice. Does this bring me joy? Does this bring me joy? And seeing, if it brings you joy, and if, using the tools. Who is it? Is it, does it bring you joy? Oh, Marie Kondo. Marie Kondo, right? Marie Kondo, The Spark of Joy. If anybody has not read the Marie Kondo book, that's another book. Or they did have I think they did have I don't remember if it was on Netflix. Was it The Life? It was something about tidying up. I think it was on Netflix. And they did have a show for a while, but Marie Kondo is all about, does this bring you joy, and seeing if the item brings you joy. But she has a whole way of tidying up. So if you need some inspiration to help you habit-wise to tidy up, check out Marie Kondo. I really like, I've read her book, and one of her books, and I think she has multiple books. I read one of her books, and then I've also watched a couple episodes of the TV show. So let yourself be inspired. There are also some great books out on habits as well that can support you in breaking habits. All right. So let yourself do that in terms of clearing out the clutter. Let's do some dates and time frames, and then we're going to be wrapping up the energy of the month. October 1st through the 7th. It's all about balance and harmony, friends. So striving for balance during this time as you begin to notice intensely what is out of balance and where you will need to be fierce. What is imbalanced in your life, and where do you need to be fierce? Think of the breakthroughs you can experience instead of what is uncomfortable and discouraging in the moment. Look for support among your positive relationships and make a plan for good intentions around change and improvement. This is where intention setting and also setting your goals come in. And it's not always time to set goals, but it is right now a good time for making a plan. This is also a good time to take inventory in your areas of your life where you may need to be fierce about choices, especially about your health and your personal well-being. Also, if you are getting discouraged or irritated or frustrated, use your mindfulness tools, your meditation, your energy healing tools to work with the human, bring in that compassion, that loving kindness, see what the human needs to hear about, because sometimes the human needs something. If it feels discouraged, the human might need like a pep talk, and then allow the discouraged energy to be cleared and letting the light fill in the spaces for the highest good. And then also let yourself be fierce to then get in that inspired action to be proactive. October 8th through the 15th. This is a good window to work on your self-confidence, your self-esteem, your self-worth, and raising your deservedness, your havingness to deserve more and better in terms of your abundance, prosperity, financial flow, harmony, joy, love, etc., etc., etc. Be fierce about removing yourself from any non-beneficial situations, anything that is no longer serving you, anything that is belittling your self-worth, diminishing your spirit. Be fierce about removing yourself from the situations. It's not right, wrong, good or bad. There's an isness. The energies come to completion. Let yourself move out of the situation. And with that, it's also a beneficial time to set healthy boundaries and new rules regarding relationships. Use that intention setting. The truth may be challenging. You got to work with your human on this. If your human is sad, disappointment, grieving, you got to acknowledge how the human feels, bring in that compassion and comfort. Let your human be surrounded by some sort of support system, however that looks for you. It could be other family, friends that just are like in that positive light energy, but it also could be going to hear an inspiring talk or listening to an inspiring book, or could be inspiring podcast, or it could be sitting in meditation outside in nature, however that looks for you. But letting yourself really be able to shift. And the truth may be challenging, but if you focus on the lessons learned, the insights gained, the wisdom received, how it has been for the highest good, you may gain understanding that will inspire a passion for something new. During this October 8th through the 15th, your boundaries may also be tested during this time. Friends, y'all stay in your own lane. Trust the intelligence and intuition of your heart. And try not to take things personally. And give others space from a place of compassion and kindness. October 14th is new moon in Libra and partial solar eclipse. That is Saturday, October 14th. The eclipse window, in terms of is happening, it's a very important time. There actually, for this, there might be a ring of fire that might be able to be seen in some areas. I'm not sure where. You might be able to Google it. So this is a very important time that initiates the eclipse window, marking a time of intense change and transformation. The energy can be somewhat unstable and may cause you to feel unbalanced. A bit of imbalance can be positive as it encourages a reset. However, you may want to make sure you are grounded and connected to the earth in these somewhat turbulent times. Take some time to acknowledge where you need to be fierce, even if it's just a plan for now. Use your tools. So during this time, you definitely want to use mindfulness and energy healing tools. I'll be doing some sort of a probably meditation for energy healing meditation for my Meditate With Me group or my paid podcast subscription. I'm not sure yet. I haven't quite decided, but stay tuned for that. Or there's a ton of evergreen energy healing meditations on my podcast. So feel free to use one of those to help you stay grounded and aligned and to move through this turbulent time. Take some time, though, also to acknowledge where you need to be fierce, even if it's just a plan for now. And if you have clarity about something that needs clearing out, let yourself do it now during this October 14th timeframe. Open yourself up to new possibilities and new inspirations. It is a creative time to reach for support and acknowledge the changing vibration of the planet and how that is also affecting you and your vibration. Do your part by raising the vibration of something in your life or environment through an improvement or change. No matter how small, the significant things is to start somewhere. So then the next time frame is October 16th through the 23rd. There's a bit more clarity as we process post-eclipse events and insights. You want to watch that your fierceness does not overdo it in discarding people and things that are actually really important. And that's where the energy of discernment comes in, people. And that's also why you want to be grounded and aligned. You want to shift from your head to your heart, be grounded and aligned, be in that connection to the high heart, your intuition, and using discernment. You may also, during this time, October 16th through the 23rd, you may become irritated by situations beyond your control. Let yourself use those mindfulness tools, the energy healing, and take responsibility for what you can change, as well as for your attitude around what you can't change. Let yourself work with your mental body, work with that mindset, friends. And also, too, things are just shifting and changing. The more that you can just be in compassion and patience and groundedness and understand that things are just changing and that you don't always have to do something about something. You can be in patience. You can practice kindness and loving kindness and compassion and give people the space they need to make their own choices and decisions without you being in control. This time frame ends with a good window for setting intentions around positive and healthy relationships. And just a reminder, you are worthy of love and support. So be a little fierce about eliminating what is not providing it, but also use discernment and not be so hasty. So, yeah, that's the key, friends. And that's why working with practitioners can also help you, because sometimes humans can get so like, I'm just going to, that person is toxic and so is that situation. And meanwhile, you could be the person who's got the negative energy and the judgment that's creating the toxicity. And wherever you go, there you are, friends. That's why you want to learn declare dense energy, because when people are saying something's toxic or toxic person, it's negative energy. They're caught in some sort of negative energy that is exuding this uncomfortable vibration of toxic energy that doesn't feel good. But everything is clarable because it's energy. Energy can be transformed and transmuted. And when you bring self-realization to it, that's the empowered creator. But sometimes people are, blaming, pointing fingers at others. But meanwhile, they're the ones that are bringing in some sort of conflicting or divisiveness or toxic, as some people say, toxic energy. I don't call it that per se. I call it negative energy that probably is being called to be cleared, and somebody's caught in a difficult pattern or program. But that's where the investigation and mindfulness comes in. So, all right. So practice kindness and loving kindness and give space to people where they need to. And just know that you are worthy of love and support. So know that. October 24th through 31st, this can be a dramatic time of important decisions that have a significant impact, as well as a highly creative time where dreams can become and manifest. So there could be unexpected events, so stay present and aware. And it's also a good time in terms of your empowerment of anything that you have been chewing on as a creator to let yourself shift into that physical creation of that inspired action. You will know if it's beneficial timing by the support you receive, and also checking in with your higher self soul, that intuition. So let yourself check in, and also just enjoy the process, friends. Enjoy the process. Stay grounded, stay focused, be practical, organized, and making sure to stay in that heart space. October 28th is the full moon in Taurus with a partial lunar eclipse. So I will also be doing a full moon and a Reiki energy healing meditation with this eclipse as well. Stay tuned for that. And that is the energy update with the timelines, the dates that are happening this month. I will be doing a further breakdown as the days go on with some of the other themes that I brought up. So with this, though, I will be also putting something on my podcast for a practice to support grounding and empowering as well, to help you move through this month. And I do have coming up this week. This week, what day is it going to be? On Saturday, October 7th at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, I do have a energy update of the month, followed by a dowsing energy healing session based on the energy of the month to support people moving through the entire month. It is a really amazing, it is an amazing meditation and dowsing energy healing session. It's a Reiki and dowsing energy healing session. And it just supports so many people. We do it live, but you don't have to be there live to receive it. As long as you're saying yes to receive it, you're going to receive the clearing and the healing session. And then I send the recording out afterwards. It is a really powerful energy healing meditation that supports the energies of the month and people moving through it. And people do it, sometimes they do it like once a week. Some people do it, every day. Some people do it. It just depends. But I do have, you can either buy it solo, or you can, if you are part of my Patreon all access, it comes in there. Or if you are part of my Inspiring You podcast, the paid subscription podcast, it actually automatically comes in there as well. So if you are part of one of those, or if you want to buy it solo, you can just reach out to me. I will put the links in everything. So, or the link is in my bio if you're watching this on social media. All right, that is it for now. Before we go, friends, we always do delink. Delinking is a great practice. So we're just going to release from this group. We're going to release from social media, from the Zoom, from this podcast. We're going to delink from the energy healing. We're going to completely delink. So say after me if this resonates with you. I asked to break the links. I asked to break the links with social media. I asked to break the links with Zoom. I asked to break the links with this podcast episode. I asked to break the Reiki links. I asked to break the links, leaving only harmony and balance at either ends. I also asked to clear any residual energies being held in my body as a result of these links. I asked the light Reiki to fill all the void cells, rejuvenating, refreshing, revitalizing for my highest good with ease and grace, and so it is. May peace with all of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for joining me, and much love, light, and wishes for an incredible, nurturing, joyful, abundant October. Thank you for joining me, friends.